Today on Bookmas, I'm holding How to Write a Novel That Sells, from concept to publication, and it's by Lana McAra. This is a very practical step-by-step guide for writers who dream about writing novels and want to understand how to shape, how to pitch, market, and publish that book. Lana brings 30 years of industry experience, including a book proposal that landed her a contract on the second submission. Plus, she has 14 printable forms that writers can use again and again. You guys need a physical copy of this book, not just a PDF. So, if you have a novel in your head, or half a manuscript in a drawer, or a half finished book, or a full finished book that needs to get to readers, this conversation is for you. Listen in. Today, I have Lana McAra with me, and we are talking about her book, How to Write a Novel That Sells. I'm so glad that you're here with us, Lana.
Thank you so much, Summer. I'm excited about our conversation.
And I'm telling these people, this book, you guys, this book is perfect for writers. Okay? Writers don't need to hear, follow your passion and write your story by one more person. They hear it a lot. Your book, Lana, it's very, very practical. It's very, very, very practical. It talks about concept and structure, publishing, proposals, marketing, pieces that writers often don't know they need until they're already overwhelmed. So let's start at the very beginning. Your own writing story. I know that you have written other books that you have sold an admirable number of copies of. How did you first get into writing fiction?
Well, it's interesting how it happened because I did not want to be a writer as a child. I talked
Hmm.
to so many authors who say, "Oh, from the time I held a crayon, I knew I was going to be a writer." That was not me.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
really hated my college papers. I hated my high school papers. I
Hmm.
did not like writing anything. I always felt like I wasn't creative, and
Oh.
that was kind of a block for me.
Hmm.
But I was a voracious reader. From the time I could read, and I could think about third grade was when I really
Hmm.
picked up with reading. I started reading everything. I literally read everything in my school library.
Hmm.
I stopped going by topic or author and I started going down the shelf. I get this one, then the next one, then the next one, then the next one. And I just went
Hmm.
through the whole shelf because I was afraid I'd miss one.
Hmm.
And I was 10 years old at the time. So, yeah, I was a voracious reader. And then I got married, I had a few kids,
Hmm.
and my mother-in-law brought over this stack of ladies' magazines. She had picked
Okay.
them up off a table at the local library, like they're
Hmm.
free.
Hmm.
And it was a pretty good sized stack. And she brought them to me, and I was like, I'm not really into ladies' magazines. But she
Hmm.
left them on my coffee table, and she went home. And I'm sitting there, with the children, and I picked up the magazine. I opened it up. It says, "You can write children's books." Had this
Ah. Hmm.
full page ad. And I shut that. I don't like to write. And a little while later, I picked up another one.
Hmm.
You can write children's books. And I went, you know what? There's something there. It's a message for me, I
Sign
think.
from the universe. Hmm.
Yes, yes. And it really was. I had no idea at the time. So I read the whole thing, put it down, read it again. And there was a little coupon on the bottom to fill out and mail in because this was in 1982.
Okay. Okay.
No internet, you know.
Uh-huh. Hmm.
And so I sent it in. They mailed me an aptitude test, which
Hmm.
I took
Hmm.
and sent it back. And they said, "You have a high aptitude for this. We recommend that you do this and that." And so I took this little course and I never did write children's books because I have that, in my story. Some people think I started writing children's books. I did not.
That's what
I
I thought you were
loved,
leading into. Okay.
I love mysteries. And I started
Ah.
writing mystery novels instead. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I started writing that first book as a part of the course, and then I spent 14 years trying to get it published. Back in those days, there was no Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
14 years, 19 rejections, and I rewrote the story 5 times. I changed it this way and that way, and set it back
Mm-hmm.
in the Old West. I did all kinds of things to the book.
Mm-hmm.
What I
Mm-hmm.
didn't realize at the time is that I was teaching myself to write. I was just going at it. I took a second course. And before I finished the second course, my book got picked up by a publishing company. And after that, I was on my way. So that's really how I got started. Once I started once I realized how much I loved writing stories, not articles or papers, and that's still true today,
Hmm.
um, I was addicted. I was very addicted. If I
Wow.
if I could create the novels I love so much,
Hmm.
what could be better than that?
Yeah, yeah. That's why you sparked. Okay, that's for another talk. But I love hearing where the writing life begins. Not everybody is the same way. When I ask people why did they write their first novel, not nonfiction, but novel, they go, I had a spark and a story in mind. But that's not where you started. Like you said, the moment held a crayon in my hands, I knew what I wanted to do. No,
No.
no, not me either. But before people put something on a page, before they fully understand where it's going to take them, when they start writing that, that does become an addiction. I think that's true for me too. Like
Mhm.
writing the first book and getting it into my hand was like it was cathartic. What
Yes.
took you into the teaching space for fiction? You just didn't stop at writing stories and continue writing stories. You want to teach other people, and you obviously wrote this book.
Yes, yes. That's a good question because I was an elementary ed major in college with an English minor. And
Mm,
so I did become an English teacher later,
mm,
but I had the skills.
mm.
And so about 4 years after my book was published, my first book was published in 1996. And in
Okay.
2001, I won the National Christie Award.
Mm,
And at that point, my whole life took a pivot. It all changed. Up until then, I was putting out one or two books a year, to
mm,
my publisher. I didn't really
mm,
have any thoughts about
mm,
teaching or anything like that. But
mm,
when I won the Christie Award, first thing that happened was my publisher hired me to
mm,
be a substantive editor and a book coach.
mm,
And they trained me to do commercial editing and what commercial fiction looks like as
mm,
opposed to academic writing or any of that.
mm,
So I was professionally trained by them. But the second thing that happened was that all of my writer friends started
mm,
calling me up. They called me up. Can you help me
mm,
with this manuscript? There's something missing. Can you tell me
mm,
what's wrong? And one day I was on the phone with this gal, and I love her dearly, and she helped me so much as well as I helped her.
mm.
And I got off the phone and I said, I can't keep doing this. I spent 2 hours on the phone with one person, and I've got a bunch of emails in my email box right now with more people wanting me to call them. And so I said, I'm going to write a course.
Mm.
And so that's what I did. I wrote a course and I ran it for 10 years. It was a correspondence course because, of course, now we're still back there. The internet was just a baby.
Mm,
And so I wrote 8 modules, and I would have them send me their first check was $40 a lesson,
mhm,
and they would send me a check in the mail for
mm,
$40. I
mm,
would print the module, put
mhm,
it in an envelope and mail it. Then they would fill out the homework and
mm,
send me their writing. They could send me 1 or 2 pages of their writing and plus homework, and they would mail that back to me with a check for $40, and then I
mm,
would send a module too. And so it
mm,
was not like you had to pay X amount to start. You just
mm.
set $40 when you were ready with your next
Per
lesson.
lesson. Mm.
And
And
my students were getting published before they finished. I could hardly get anybody to finish the course. By the time they got to number six,
oh,
they were sending me letters saying, I got published. I don't need it anymore. I'm
forget
good.
it.
Like, wait a minute. You still need to
Mm,
finish, you know?
mhm, mm.
But yeah, they were getting published. They were winning awards and all of this. And so I did that for 10 years, and then I got a divorce.
Oh.
2009, I got a divorce, and I just stopped everything. Everything stopped. For 5 years, I didn't write anything. I
Mm,
shut down my course. Everything stopped. And eventually I did get back, and I started
mm,
ghostwriting
mm,
and worked my way back by ghostwriting.
mhm,
And then I put my course, I took the same modules and I put it online.
mm,
And I made an online course where people could go in, and it's
mm,
there now, how to write a novel that
mhm,
sells.com.
mm,
That's the course, and I teach it like a college class. So I'll take module one and I'll do 2 hours of video teaching on that module,
mm,
and then we go on and then we do writing labs. Because before I was looking at their papers and I was writing on their papers, But now I didn't have that, and I could not give up personal interaction. I wanted
Yeah.
to touch base with my students. So
Mm-hmm.
I started holding these writing labs once a month. I'm still doing them. I've been doing writing labs for years. It's like the fan
Wow.
favorite of anything that I do. So
Mm,
that was the online course. And then I took the
mm.
modules and I put them in that book.
Okay.
So what's in that book is actually the teaching classes that I do in the course. Of course, if you're in the course, you get the 2 hours of teaching along
Mm,
with it.
mm.
And then the 14 printouts, the
Printouts.
worksheet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I had developed a process. I had developed a process where I could write a book in 3 months. And that involved those worksheets.
Mm,
And so for the online course, I put the worksheets in there because they were
mm,
part of my process. And
mm-hmm.
so basically what it does is you can write better while writing faster.
Okay.
Usually better and faster don't go together, but you
But
can
if you could
write
teach
better.
them two magic potions,
Yeah.
mix them together, that must have taken a lot of clarity and patience. Probably a strong cup of coffee wouldn't have been enough.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
you guys
Yeah.
who are listening, when you read this book, it is a complete course. This is a complete course. And if you still want to follow up with Lana and do more with her, the link to her classes, online classes, will be in the description below. Just take a look at the description, read everything, read all the links, look at all the links that are necessary to contact Lana and also get her course and buy her book. They're all in the description. Don't wait, just do this. Lana, while having worked with so many authors for such a long time now, what do you see as the author's greatest challenge? Where do you see them struggle?
Well, most people would answer that it's getting the book done,
Mm,
but I don't see that as the biggest challenge. I mean, it's
no.
hard. Getting the
Mm,
book done is hard,
mm,
but understanding what it takes to launch a book
mm.
and sell a book, I think personally that is the hardest part because we have to shift from thinking creative and story and all of that, or
Mm,
even if you write nonfiction, you got
mm,
to think, your head's in the book, and then you have to pivot and think, who's my target market? Who am I
yeah.
going to sell to? How do I
Hmm.
reach them? Where do they hang out? What am I going to say? All of these things. I think that is really the biggest challenge because we're going from the creative space to entrepreneurial thinking,
Mm.
which is a different part of the brain, different part of the activity.
A
And
different
some
animal
people really
altogether.
they have a hard time doing both.
Mm. That's a very real answer. I feel
Mhm.
it because I just finished my nonfiction book. And writing sounded so romantic until I was staring at page 47, wondering, should my character need new motivation or should I go take a nap? So, in such a busy world, and you have such a busy life doing a lot of things, how do you find the time to write with your busy schedule?
What a great question. I teach
Mm.
an entire class called How to Get Your Book Done When You're the Busiest Person You Know.
Maybe that class is
Um,
intended for me.
yeah, yeah, me too, myself. So what I say is what has really saved my life in this
Mm,
busy life that I live,
mm.
and that is time blocking. Time
Beautiful.
blocking.
I
Yeah.
love that phrase.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
what I'll do is I'll block out a set of time. Now, for
Mm,
some people, they might want one day, or
mm,
maybe they want a weekend. For me, I want 3 days. I don't care if it's a weekend or not, but
mhm,
I want 3 days because
mm.
what I do is like a deep dive. I'm jumping in
Yeah.
the ocean. I'm going under. I want to
Mm,
stay under. I don't
mm.
want to have to keep coming back because every time I come out of that space, I have to find my place again and figure out what I'm doing. And it's just waste so much time. And so I'll just carve out those 3 days. I'll dive under, stick with the book, and I go into this like altered state of consciousness. Seriously.
I need that for me. I need that for me. Time blocking looks very different for me. Time blocking is like every Tuesday and Thursday, 2 to 4 p.m. And that
Oh,
doesn't work as much as yours might. Immersion might be a
yes.
better way. Why didn't I think of this before? You are brilliant, Lana. This is
So
really, really helpful.
I only do two things during that time block. I eat
Hmm.
and I sleep.
Okay. And you
And
write.
the write and write. That's
Hmm.
it. If I'm awake and not eating, I'm writing. And so, yeah, I get so much done. I get so much done
Mm,
in that block. And then once that time block is done, I put it all away
uh-huh.
and I might not touch it again for a week, 2 weeks. I'm not in a hurry
Mm,
because I know my creativity has to build up again. I've already used
mm,
it up.
mm,
Now I can go do email and do appointments or whatever I need to do.
mm,
And I just let that simmer. And then when I'm ready, I block out 3 more days and I'll
mm.
hit it again. And doing that, I can roll out a lot of books.
Wow. A lot of people tell me that they cannot write because they need to create the perfect conditions. It looks like you are creating the perfect condition and grasping a moment and then making it a perfect condition. Books
Yes,
do get written inside real lives, in between responsibilities, deadlines and doubts and children and pets and husbands and all those things that pull us apart, right? So
yes, yes.
let's take the aftermath. When should an author begin to market the book?
When they get the idea.
When they get the idea. Keeps them accountable to finish the book, first of all.
No, don't wait to finish. Don't wait to
Mm,
finish.
mm,
When you get the idea, I mean, if you're already halfway through the book right now, start now.
mm. Yes.
Um,
Okay.
get out there and start talking about it, start telling people about it. When you get your cover, show the cover. Just keep talking about it and talking about it. Put little pieces of it up online.
Mm.
Just keep pounding that same nail. Just pound and pound that nail.
That's
And
beautiful.
then
Yes.
when the book comes out, everybody's going to be
Mm,
like, oh, where is it? Where is it? Oh, it's here. It's
mm,
finally here. And
mm,
you've got everybody prepared to buy it now.
mm. I'm
Yeah.
so glad we're talking about this because so many writers, even 5 years ago, I thought that marketing starts after the book is done. Like, what if so many doubts used to creep in. What if I don't finish the book? What if I change my ideas? What if I change the total um, direction the book is going? Then somehow the book is finished, and suddenly we are expected to become a publicist, a salesperson, the content creator, and also maybe an emotional support animal for our own launch. So how do you choose when you write a book or before you write a book, how do you choose your genre or the subject for your book?
It has to be something that grips you.
Hmm.
You can't go look at the statistics and say, well, romance is writing well, is selling well. I'll do
Let me
romance.
write a
No,
romance.
that's
Hmm.
not how it works.
Won't work.
It has to be something you absolutely love. You're going to be
Hmm.
working on that book for a year, two
Hmm.
years. You've got to be excited about it. I love mysteries. And
Hmm.
so I'll get an idea for a mystery and I
Hmm.
will start to jot down, fake clues and fake villains and real villains. And I've got all this stuff written on this piece of paper. And
Wow.
that just percolates.
Hmm.
And the more
Hmm.
I get into it, the more excited I get. And then I start getting sticky notes and putting them on my wall about different things that happen and fake clues and real clues and all this. And it lights me up. I could keep
Hmm.
going with that for months because I love it. So
Hmm.
pick something you love. Only do what you
Yeah.
love.
Hmm. So choosing that genre should shape the promise that you make to your readers.
Hmm.
Might not be a written promise, but the inherent promises that you make, like this is the kind of writer I am, and this is what I'm putting out. And everything, I think the structure, the marketing, the kind of audience that the author is trying to reach should
Yes.
be in the mind before the author even starts writing it,
Oh, yes.
right?
Yes, exactly.
Hmm.
So one of the ways to do that is to read books that are like the one you want to write yourself.
Yeah.
So take your favorite books of
Hmm.
that type, read them, and look at the author. What else is that author putting out? Where is that author showing up? Are they on social media? Go look at their social
Hmm.
media and
Hmm.
just model the authors that are successful doing what you want to do. It's really easy, but so many authors don't even look at the other authors and what they're
That
doing.
is right. Yeah.
They're doing something right.
Hmm.
They're successful.
Hmm.
So let's learn from them.
Hmm. Lana, thank you so much. I think this has given me inspiration to finish the book I'm writing, but start marketing first. That's the biggest thing I'm taking from this. And
Hmm.
carving out 3 days at a time instead of 2 hours a week.
Yes.
That looks like a way better strategy than to, every morning, first thing I'm going to write 10 lines. It's somehow not working.
Hmm. Right, right.
Before you go, why should people buy this book?
How to write a novel that sells?
Yes.
Well, it's got a broad spectrum. It's got in there how to write good dialogue. It's
Hmm.
got 2 chapters on characters. And so whatever your issue is in writing, if you're having trouble with structure, if you're
Mm,
having trouble with settings
mhm,
and doing the setting correctly in the descriptions, then there's something in there for you because it
mm,
covers all the bases. You can
mhm,
look at the table of contents, you can go into what you need, and you can get help and tools. Those worksheets are golden. They will save you so much time and
absolutely.
effort. So, yes, if you're writing a novel,
Mm,
get it and find out what you need and use those chapters. You don't necessarily have to read it, front to back. I recommend that, but you don't have to. You can just
mm,
go in for the setting one or go in for the
mm,
dialogue or
mm,
whatever it is that you need.
mm. I think every other page has a very valuable insight that I've noted down in my notebook. And I start thinking about my characters the way you talk about. I actually changed the name of a couple of my characters because the protagonist and the another character, they kind of sound alike. And I
Mm,
read your book, and then I said, "Oh, I should change a few names because this makes sense." Lana, thank
yeah.
you so much for joining me on Bookmas and sharing the thoughts behind this beautiful book. How to write a novel that sells, you guys. What I really appreciate about your book, Lana, is that it respects the dream of writing. Many people dream of becoming an author. Also, it doesn't glorify things. It sheds light on the business and the craft behind it. And that's a must read. You get a lot of information on social media, on ChatGPT, but lived experience and super expertise like this will come from a book that somebody wrote themselves. And it gives writers something that they can actually use. Maybe they're starting up with an idea or they're building a manuscript or preparing a proposal. Before you go, there's another question it quickly came into my mind. The book that got a proposal at the second time you sent it out, was it your very first book or was it the second one?
Oh, it was one of the later ones because I didn't
Okay.
really put that book together until later. The
Mm,
course had been already out for a long time when I wrote the
mm-hmm,
book.
mm,
So yes, it was the Englewood Medium, I believe, Shaken but Not
okay.
Stirred. Yeah.
Mm. Wonderful, because you had already built trust with your readers, and
Hmm.
and the publisher would know that your book is respected, purchased a lot.
Yes.
So that's the story behind Lana McAra's book. This one. You guys, I mean everyone watching. I have also recorded my bookmas verdict on Lana's book. In that video, I share my personal take, what stood out to me in the book, and who I think this book is perfect for. You're going to find that link in the description below. If you enjoyed this conversation, please like this video in support of Lana and all the work that she does. It helps more writers and readers discover Bookmas author interviews. And these are brilliant. These are conversations that people should really, really listen to. And subscribe to the channel for more Bookmas conversations. These are authors who are teaching, inspiring, and helping us see what's possible through books. So, Lana, thank you so much again for being here. And we will continue working on Bookmas very, very excitedly. Until next time, you guys keep writing. The idea in your head is not going to put itself on pages. Write your book. Get this book first. It'll tell you how to write that book. Happy Bookmas, you guys.